Hello everyone, now we have to discuss the next theorem, that is Norton's theorem. Norton's theorem. If you know the concept of Thevenin's theorem, then this theorem concept is very easy. Means Norton's theorem is Norton's theorem is converse of Thevenin's theorem. Norton's theorem is converse of Thevenin's theorem. That is, what is the equivalent circuit of practical voltage source and practical current source? We have a voltage source in series with a resistance, right? We have a voltage source in series with a resistance. What is the practical current source? We have a current source in parallel with a resistance, right. So, we have a current source in parallel with a resistance. So, to get the value of current or to get the value of voltage, we have to. So, for example, given circuit is practical current source, we have to transform it into what? This circuit. Then to get this value of voltage, we have to multiply this current with what? Voltage, right? Sorry, current with resistance. Like that, to get the value of current, we have to divide with this voltage with R, right. Is there any change in the value of resistance? There is no change in the value of resistance, means they are mutually transferable. They are mutually transferable. The same concept can be applicable here. So, Norton's theorem is converse of Thevenin's theorem, means if we have, for example, Thevenin's voltage in series with Thevenin's resistance, this is nothing but what? Thevenin's equivalent circuit, right. Then these two are mutually transferable. This is what? Norton's current, this is Norton's resistance. That is it. If you know the concept of Thevenin's theorem, you will get the concept of Norton's theorem. That is, if you know the concept of Thevenin's equivalent circuit, obviously we will get the equivalent circuit of Norton's theorem. So, what is the statement of Norton's theorem? Norton's current is connected in parallel with Norton's resistance. That is it. What is Thevenin's equivalent circuit? Thevenin's voltage is connected in series with Thevenin's resistance. That is it. Then, what is the value of Thevenin's resistance here? IN into R T H. What is the value of IN? VTH by RN. Is there any change in the value of resistance? RTH is equals to RN. That is it. These are very important observations. These are very important observation, and one more important point, they are mutually transferable. They are mutually transferable, right. Then what is the statement of Norton's theorem? Now, we have to write the statement. Right. In a linear, active and bilateral circuit consisting of independent or dependent, not or and dependent sources can be replaced by an equivalent circuit. The circuit consisting of what? Consisting a current source in parallel with resistance. That is it. Then this is what I n, or this is I n or I s c. What is this I s r? So, I n means what? Norton's current. S c, short circuit current. What is this short circuit current? I will explain while discussing the problems. That is the current nothing but I n or I s c. So, in case of Thevenin's theorem, we have V t h. This is also called as V o c, right? V t h, the theorem itself Thevenin's theorem. That is why we have to call it as V t h. But this is also called as V o c, right? Means we have to open circuit those two terminals. Means the voltage across those two open circuit terminals. Like that, we have to calculate the current through two short circuit terminals. That is why it is called as I s c, right? Then this is what? R n or R s c, or it is called as R t h. There is no change in the value of Thevenin's resistance and Norton's resistance. Means what? The calculation of equivalent resistance is same in the case of Thevenin's theorem as well as in case of Norton's theorem. So, this is the equivalent circuit of Norton's theorem. This is what? Norton's equivalent circuit. Suppose if we have a load branch, suppose if we have a load branch, then this is R L, all right, this is R L. Then the current through this load is nothing but I L, right. If we have a load branch of R L, therefore, the current through that branch is nothing but, so we have to get the current through this branch, means you have to apply current division principle. So, this is the total current in the circuit, that is I n. To get the value of this current, total current into opposite branch resistance by total resistance, that is R n by R n plus R L, that is it. This is the value of the current through particular branch, that is it. So, if you know the concept of Thevenin's theorem, we will get the concept of Norton's theorem, that is Norton's theorem is converse of Thevenin's theorem. So, these two are mutually transferable, means what? If you know the circuit of Norton's equivalent circuit, you will get the circuit of Thevenin's equivalent circuit, vice versa. So, these are the relations between these two circuits. These two are these relations are very important, right. Then from these conclusions, we have to get the statement of Norton's theorem, that is in a linear active bilateral circuit which consists of independent and dependent sources can be replaced by an equivalent circuits, means it consisting of a current source in parallel with a resistance, that is it. This is about Norton's theorem introduction. Next we will discuss problems based on Norton's theorem. So, this is the first problem. From this we have to calculate the current through this branch, okay, current through this branch. This is A, this is B. Then the current through this phi m branch we have to calculate. Okay. Solution. So, step 1, to calculate the required branch current or voltage or whatever it may be, we have to follow some steps, that is remove load and calculate Rn, that is Norton's resistance between two open circuited load terminals. So, to calculate RTH, what we have to do? We have to remove that load branch and keeping all other independent sources what deactivated, right, deactivated by their internal resistance. That is it. Then from this is voltage source, it is shorted, then we have a branch, again we have a branch, then this is current source open circuited, simply we have this circuit, right. So, this is given as 3, this is 6, this is 10. So, this is A, this is B, in between these two terminals we have to calculate Rn, that is it. Then tell me what is the value of Rn? Rn is equals to 3 is parallel with 6, which is addition with 10, that is it. That is 2 plus 10, therefore, Rn is equals to 12 ohms. Rn is equals to 12. That is it. Next, step 2, that is short two load terminals and calculate short circuit current, that is ISC, or it can be called as Norton's current, IN. It can be called as short circuit current or Norton's current. Short two load terminals and calculate short circuit current or Norton's current through shorted terminals. That is it. You have plus minus, you have this branch, again we have one branch, this is the current source. Next, so this is the given circuit, right. This is what given 10, this is 3, this is 6, this is 1 amp, this is what 10, right. So, we have to short this two terminals, this is ISC, that is it. We have to calculate ISC. From this, V minus 10 by 3 plus V by 6 plus V by 10, which is equals to 1. So, we know that ISC is equals to what? See, V by 10, right? V by 10 amps. Is is what? V by 10, right? Therefore, from this 3, 6, 10, 60, that is 2V minus 20 plus 10V plus 6, sorry 20, no, this is 20 minus 200, which is equals to 60. Then 16 plus 20, 36, V is equals to 260. From this, V is equals to 260 by 36 volts, right? And substitute this V into this. Therefore, Is is what? Is is what? 260 by 360, right? From this, we will get 0.722 amps. So, the short circuit current between those two open circuit terminals, this is the short circuit current. Next, we have Rn, we have Sc. Then reconnect, or we can get what is step 3? Obtain Norton's equivalent circuit, that is this is Norton equivalent circuit. This is what? Isc 0.72 amps. This is what? 12 ohms. That is it. This is In. This is Rn. What is step 4? Reconnect load branch and calculate IL, right? Therefore, we have this circuit. Between these two, we have to connect RL. What is the value of RL? That is 5 ohm branch. This is 5, this is 12, this is what? 0.722, right? From this, we have to calculate this IL. Therefore, IL is equals to total current, that is 0.722 into opposite branch resistance by total resistance 12 plus 5, 17. From this, we will get IL is equals to approximately 0.5 amperes, approximately 0.5 amperes. That is it. Simple. Same like in the case of Thevenin's theorem. So, that is IL equals to 0.5 amp, means same like in the case of Thevenin's theorem. So, in that, what is the first step? We have to remove the load branch and we have to calculate Thevenin's voltage between those two open circuited terminals. Second step is what? We have to get the Thevenin's resistance by replacing all independent sources by their internal resistances. Like that, in this case also we have to get the Rn. Those two values of resistance are equal. What is step 3? Obtain equivalent circuit. What is step 4? Reconnect the whatever may be the load branch, that load branch should be reconnected and calculate the required quantity. That is it. So, we got the answer is 0.5 amp, right? Now, we have to verify this answer. Right? Simple, we have simple node, that is it. That is V minus 10 by 3 plus V by 6 plus V by 15, which is equals to 1. From this 60, right, 60, that is 20V minus 200 plus 10V plus 4V, which is equals to 60. So, 20 plus 10, 30 plus 34V, which is equals to 260. V is equals to, right, 260 34 volts. So, from this IS is what? This is the current, right? We have to calculate this is the current, that is V by 15, 260 by 34 into 15. What is the value of this? I3 is 2. So, approximately this is what? 17. Approximately this is 17, right? Therefore, approximately it is 17 by 34, that is 0.5 amperes, right? See, we are having the same value of current 0.5, that is it. Next we will discuss this second one. So, from this we will get the Norton's equivalent circuit between these two terminals. So, the examiner is not provided any load between these two branches. That is, we have to get up to step 3, that is it. What is step 1? We have to get Rn, that is we have to get Rn. Okay. Then to get Rn, we have to deactivate this voltage source and current source. This is short circuited, this is open circuited, therefore, we have 2 ohm branch. This is A, this is B, between we have Rn, right? This is 2, this is 5. By looking at this circuit, we can able to tell that is Rn is equals to 5 into 2 by 5 plus 2, that is 10 by 7 ohms, that is it. So, Rn is equals to 10 by 7. Next, we have to calculate ISC, right? ISC. We have a current source, we have a branch, this is A, between these two we have to calculate ISC, right. Five, 2, 5, this is IS, this is, there is no current through this branch because it is short circuited, clear. Then the circuit becomes this is A, this is B, this is what ISC, right? That is it. This is 5, this is 5, this is 2. So, to get the ISC is using superposition theorem. It is better because we have a current source, again unknown current. So, it is better to use superposition theorem. That is case 1. What is case 1? 2V is active, right? Means this is deactivated by open circuited. Simply we have what? This circuit, right? This is ISC dash. This is the main circuit. Now, from this case 1, this is ISC dash. This is 5 ohms, this is 2. From this simple loop, right? Apply KVL. Apply KVL, that is minus 2 plus 5 ISC dash is equals to 0. From this ISC dash equals to minus 2 minus 5, 2 by 5, that is 0.4 amps, right? ISC dash is 0.4. Next, case 2. What is case 2? 5 ampere source is active. Therefore, this is replaced by short circuit, right. Next we have this is 5 amperes current source, this is ISC double dash, now it is ISC double dash, right. So, this is 5 short circuited. So, we have a current source. So, the path of this current source is what? Right, like this, right. The path of this current source is like this. There is no current through this branch, right, 0. And the circuit becomes what? Only we have a current source, only we have a current source. This is A, this is B. Then the current direction of ISC is what? ISC double dash, which is opposite to what? Which is opposite to 5 ampere current source. Therefore, ISC double dash is equals to minus 5 amperes, minus 5. Next, therefore, ISC is equals to what? See the current direction of ISC downwards, ISC dash downwards, ISC double dash downwards. So, all are in same direction, therefore, addition will takes place, right. Therefore, ISC is equals to, what is the value of ISC dash? 0.4. Now, it is minus 5. Therefore, ISC is equals to minus 4.6 amps, minus 4.6. Now, we have Norton's resistance, we have short circuit current, then we will get the Norton's equivalent circuit, that is it. That is ISC in parallel with RSA, but here the value of ISC is negative. Then how can we represent this current source in Norton's equivalent circuit? For that, if ISC is equals to positive, if ISC is positive, then represent in equivalent circuit as like this, represent in equivalent circuit as like this. Okay. This is first one. If ISC is negative, then represented as downward direction, that is it. If ISC value is positive, that is the current source representation in equivalent circuit is like this, upwards, upwards. Okay. If the value of ISC is negative, that is represented as downwards, that is it. Here ISC is negative, that is why, therefore, Norton's equivalent circuit is downwards, right. Here why downwards? ISC is negative, therefore, ISC is like this, and we have a Norton's resistance. This is A, this is B. What is the value of ISC? Minus, sorry, not minus, due to the negative sign only we have to represent the current source in downward direction. Therefore, this is 4.6 amperes. What is the value of Rn? 10/7. That is it. This is the Norton's equivalent circuit. Next, we will discuss the third problem. This is the combination of independent sources and dependent sources, right. The same procedure we have to apply for this Norton's theorem also. So, we have discussed some procedure, right, in case of Thevenin's theorem. If the circuit is having both independent and dependent sources or purely dependent sources, the same procedure you have to follow in this case of Norton's theorems also, right. What is the first step? To calculate ISC, then next Rn, later we have to get equivalent circuit of Norton's resistance. To calculate RTH or RN, both are same, right? The same procedure you have to follow. What is that procedure? You have to short these two terminals, calculate ISC first, later calculate VOC. After getting ISC or VOC, we have to get RN, that is VOC by ISC, that is nothing but RTH, which is equals to RN. Next, second method is what? We have to provide a DC driving voltage between these two terminals. Because of that VDC, we have IDC. Therefore, VDC by IDC is nothing but RN, right? Then first we have to calculation of ISC, right? That is, we have to, it is better to write the circuit. Right. So, between these two we have to calculate ISC. This is what? 2I, this is 8 ohm, this is 4, this is I, this is 2 amps. Clear? So, from this we have to calculate ISC. Therefore, let us say this is V, right? From this entering, this is leaving. So, 2 plus 2I is nothing but V by 4 plus V by 8, right? And by inspection, see, V by 4 is equals to I, right? V by 4 is equals to I. V by 4 is equals to I. From this V is equals to what? I is equals to V by 4. So, here substitute this V into this. Therefore, we got 2 plus 2 into I, that is V by 2 we got. So, V by 4, V by 8. So, from this side 2 V plus V, 3 V by 8, which is equals to 4 plus V by 2, 4 plus V into 4, that is 16 plus 4, 16 plus 4 V, which is equals to 3 V. From this V is equals to minus 16 volts. V is equals to minus 16. Therefore, what is the value of therefore? ISC is equals to what from this V by 8, right? So, V by 8 is nothing but ISC. Therefore, ISC is equals to what is the value of V? Minus 16 by 8, which is equals to minus 2 amps. ISC is equals to minus 2 amperes. That is it. Next, ISC is completed. Next step, to calculate RN, we have to first calculate VOC, right? VOC. That is, from this VOC, we have to calculate V, right? That is this is 2I, this is 4, this is leaving, this is 2 amperes, x, y. We have to calculate VOC, that is plus minus VOC, means this is plus minus, this is VOC, means at this point we have VOC, that is it, right? Open circuit, there is no current through this branch, I is equals to 0. Therefore, 2 plus 2I is equals to VOC by 4. We know that V by 4 is equals to I. Therefore, I is equals to what? VOC by 2. Therefore, 2 plus VOC by 2, VOC by 4. From this, 4 plus VOC, which is equals to VOC by 2, right? 8 plus VOC, sorry, 2 VOC. VOC. Therefore, from this VOC is equals to what? Minus 8 volts. Minus 8. So, we have VOC and ISC. Therefore, Norton's resistance Rn is equals to VOC by ISC, which is equals to minus 8 by minus 2. Therefore, Rn is equals to 4 ohms. So, we have Rn, that is 4 ohms. That is it. We have ISC, we have VOC, we have Rn. Then the equivalent circuit is what? ISC is connected in parallel with Rn. That is it. The problem is over. But we have to calculate Rn by using method 2, right? Or method 2. Method 1. This is method 1. Method 1. Now, this is method 2. So, provide what? DC driving voltage. Provide DC driving voltage. That then the circuit becomes what? So, while providing DC driving voltage, we have to deactivate other independent sources. Therefore, this is current source open circuited, keeping independent sources deactivated. That is it. Okay? Then the circuit becomes like this only, right? That is it. So, between these two we have to provide VDC. Because of this we have IDC. That is it. This is what? 4, this is I, this is 8 ohm, this is 2I. Let us say this is V, okay? This is V. From this, before that, by inspection we have to write some equations. By inspection, V by 4 equals to I, and by inspection V by 4 is equals to I, and VDC minus V by 8. VDC minus V by 8 is equals to IDC. So, like that you have to write. If there is a dependent sources in the circuit, before calculation of the circuit, first you have to write the inspection. By inspection we have to write like this, right? This is V by 4 equals to I, VDC minus V by 8 equals to IDC. Then by nodal analysis, so V by 4 leaving, this is entering, which is equals to IDC plus 2I, right? But what is our motto? To get the equation in terms of IDC and VDC only, but here we have V and I. Then substitute I value and substitute V value, that is it in this equation. For example, this is equation 1. So, from this V equals to 4I, and substitute this equation into this. Therefore, 4I, that is I equals to IDC plus 2I completed. Then the equation is like this, right? From this IDC is equals to what? Minus I. From this IDC equals to what? Minus I. But we have to get what is the value of I? We do not know, right? We have to calculate. From this V is equals to 4I, substitute that V is equals to 4I here. We know that V is equals to 4I, therefore, VDC minus V by 8 is equals to IDC, which is equals to VDC minus 4I by right, which is equals to IDC, right. So, in this equation, this is for example 1, substitute 1 in above equation, that is it. Then the equation becomes what? VDC minus 4 into I. What is the value of I? Minus IDC. That is why it is 4 VDC, right? Sorry, IDC by 8 is equals to IDC. From this, VDC plus 4 IDC is equals to 8 IDC. Therefore, 4 IDC is equals to VDC. From this, VDC by IDC is equals to what? 4. Therefore, Rn is nothing but what? 4 ohms. Satisfied? So, from method 1, we got Rn as 4 ohms. From method 2, that is by providing DC driving voltage, we got Rn as 4 ohms. Therefore, Norton's equivalent circuit is, what is the value of ISC? Minus 2. That is, the value of current is minus 2, means we have to represent the current source in downward direction, which is connected in parallel with Rn. What is the value of ISC? Minus 2. This is minus 2 amps. So, not minus, this is plus only. Already we have represented with what? Downward direction, right? That is why it is 2 amps only. Next Rn, Rn is what? 4. This is X, this is Y. That is it, the problem is over. Next we can discuss the limitations and applications of Norton's theorem. So, first we have to discuss limitations. So, like Thevenin's theorem, it is not applicable to unilateral and non-linear circuits, clear. Then the power dissipation across Norton's equivalent circuit is not same as the power dissipation of real circuit. Already we have discussed this point in case of Thevenin's theorem, right. Those theorems are mutually transferable. So, the power dissipation across the load should be equals to the power dissipation of the Norton's equivalent circuit, but the power dissipation of the Norton's equivalent circuit is not equal to the power dissipation of the real circuit. So, if we have any doubt, go through the observation of the Thevenin's theorem. So, we have discussed the observations with respect to the related examples. What will happen if we connect a resistive load branch between those two terminals, and what will happen if we connect a voltage source, and what will happen if we connect a current source. So, like that, in this case also we have to connect a pure resistive load and a voltage source and a current source and observe the phenomenon, that is it. Next, it is next applications, right. It is used to reduce a complex circuit into a simple one. This theorem is useful to solve problems on parallel generators with unequal EMFs and unequal resistances, that is it. This theorem can be used with Thevenin's theorem through proper source transformation, that is it.